Hi, my name is Morgan Krantz. I'm a Marriage and Family Studies major, and I just completed my online internship with the Dibble Institute. The Dibble Institute is a nonprofit organization that teaches youth and young adults about healthy relationships. They have a variety of resources, including several different programs with lessons that are taught in fun and interesting ways. So, how did I find and arrange my internship? Well, I was interested in finding an online internship. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I wanted something that was a little more flexible so I didn't have to be away from my kids very much. So I used the Excel spreadsheet that BYU Idaho has put together that compiles internships that students have completed in the past. And I found this Excel spreadsheet on the internship page on BYU Idaho's website. So here's a picture of it, a screenshot, and the link to the Excel spreadsheet is circled green right there. And you can just download this document, and you can narrow down the document by searching for your major to see what other people in your major have done. And so that's how I found out about the Dibble Institute. I contacted the supervisor, who is Aaron Larson, through email, and he was very willing to let me be an intern for them. And it wasn't difficult at all to get it all figured out. So some of my responsibilities for my internship, actually I had quite a few different ones. I worked with Excel quite a bit, compiling information and putting it all into a spreadsheet for easy access. And at one point I contacted other nonprofit organizations via the phone to get their contact information for a contact list. I also studied one of their programs, which is called Love Notes. And this program teaches young adults about healthy relationships. And then when I was done studying it, I wrote some pre-test, post-test questions for the program for students to possibly use after they're done participating in the program. And this is actually one of my favorite projects. I've never done anything quite like that before, so I enjoyed that one. The project that took up most of my time was searching for supplemental resources for teachers to use with the Love Notes program. And this included a variety of different types of resources. So I would search for video clips from TV or movies, to music videos, to different websites that have information that was useful. And how did I benefit the site that I worked at? I feel like I benefited them by working hard and quickly to complete the assignments I was given. Some of my projects weren't necessarily hard or difficult. They were just kind of tedious things that needed to be completed to make things run smoother for them. And I think even the small, easy tasks were beneficial to them because it was one less thing that they had to worry about completing, but it was something that would make their jobs easier. So when I compiled that contact list, that wasn't necessarily an exciting project, but I think it benefited them because it was a good resource in the end for them to have. And since I spent most of my time studying and researching materials for Love Notes, I became very familiar with its teachings, and so I was then given other projects that had to do with the Love Notes program, and I became kind of their go-to girl for Love Notes, and I think that was probably helpful. I benefited personally from the experience in a lot of different ways. I was given opportunities to do things I haven't ever done before, such as writing up that pre-test, post-test, those questions for that, and compiling information for a program that was going to be used for a grant survey. That was also an interesting experience that I enjoyed. It was fun to be involved in these different kinds of things, and I also benefited because I was able to see how things ran behind the scenes of the Dibble Institute and how things kind of work for nonprofit organizations. And although some of the things I did seemed kind of small and unimportant, I could see how they contributed to the overall operation and success of the Dibble Institute. One connection that I made between my coursework and my experience during my internship was that I referred back a lot to my education and to the knowledge that I gained at BYU Idaho when I was completing some of my projects. There were several different occasions when I was able to reflect on things that I learned and then I applied them to whatever I was doing. So, for example, one of my projects I was researching how good communication skills were important to healthy relationships, and I was able to pull from what I learned in my communications classes and apply them to my project. So that was kind of fun. Would I recommend this experience to other students? I would say yes and no, because it kind of depends on your situation. I would recommend it to people who don't have a very flexible schedule. This particular online internship was very flexible, which was great. And so a lot of the days I would get my hours done in the evening when my children were in bed. So if you're a stay-at-home parent, or if you have a job that requires a lot of hours, this might be a good fit for you. I wouldn't recommend it to people that could make another type of internship work for them. There are pros to an online internship, but of course there are cons as well. And one of the cons is that it kind of gets a little monotonous being on the computer for so many hours. And it would have been nice to have some face-to-face interaction with people and actually being kind of more hands-on. I feel like I might have gained more experience in that type of internship. And also, if you have other classes that you might be taking online, I wouldn't suggest that you do an online internship at the same time, because it ends up being a lot of hours that you spend on the computer. I had completed all of my classes beforehand, so I didn't have to worry about that, which was nice. However, I am grateful that I chose an online internship because it did fit my situation better than I think any other choice would have worked. So if you want their contact information, this is Aaron's email address that I contacted him at, and he's a super nice guy. He responds quickly, and he was really easy to work with. So thank you for watching, and good luck.